Megaherzzz. You're listening to Megaherzzz on 4ZZZ.
You're tuned in to Megaherzzz on 4ZZZ. I'm Sisi. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm with my wonderful co-host, Sarah.
I'm Sarah, and my pronouns are they, them. And we also have some more wonderful co-hosts to introduce you to today.
Yay! Exciting. Start with you.
So I'm Claire, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm just moved to Brisbane 2 years ago, and I've been loving the local scene. It's been really cool to see how diverse it is. I'm really glad to be co-hosting this show today.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, exciting. My name's August. My pronouns are they, them. And yeah, I'm also very excited to be on this show. I've done a couple shows on Brisbane Line before, but it's very excited to be on something that's less like, news, you know?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
We do like to bring the news here
yes,
on
of course.
Megaherzzz, but we have a bit of discussion as well.
Yeah.
News discussion, family music, a bit of everything here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna introduce you to our hosts a little bit more. We'll have some more conversations later in the show. But before we do that, we would like to acknowledge that we are broadcasting from the stolen lands of the Turrbal and Yagara people. Sovereignty over this land was never ceded, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Sarah.
Yeah, we have new co-hosts. So we're gonna play a little game here on Megaherzzz called Let's Get to Know Our New Co-Host. So we'll start. August, tell us how, what brought you here to Megaherzzz? How did you arrive here?
Well, I mean, I've always been very interested in feminism, you know, like as much as I'm a non-binary person, I've grown up as a woman, lived the majority of my life as a woman. Like these are very much issues that affect me and I've seen affect the people around me. And it's like we were talking about the Femicide watch before, and I know that's something that we'll bring up throughout the show, but it's kind of like, how can you look at all of these things that are happening to women in society and not get kind of radicalized? Like, how can you just sit there and not want to do something about it? That's
the question is, are you radicalized enough?
Yes. What's the amount there? But I feel like I absolutely am.
Absolutely. And Claire, thank you also for joining us. And you have joined Megaherzzz, the feminist and social justice program here on 4ZZZ. Can you tell us, what brings you to this point in your life as a feminist?
Yeah, I think definitely like similar to August, it's definitely a lot of like growing up, being like a woman. I grew up queer as well, and also as a person of color. So being like having those influences in my life, it's just kind of inescapable, because it's around you always. And then just kind of witnessing what's happening in the world. Like, I think I got really into politics and a lot of these social justice issues in high school. So just like seeing, on social media what's happening around. So, and also just like in terms of music, I'm really glad there's this like feminist like music show, because I think that's a thing that really needs to be highlighted, is the diversity and like calling for that in the scene.
Absolutely. And you guys are both in music projects. Can you tell us about what you guys do in those and kind of why they're important to you? Why do you choose to be musicians?
Did you? Oh, I get. Well, I'm in a band called Margret. We've only actually played like 2 shows, and I have our first proper like full band show coming up soon at Echo and Bounce on the 15th. Woo! And Gashan's in that too, so you should totally come. But you didn't hear that from me, because I don't know if that counts as whatever. But
is there a story behind the name Margret?
Well, we were originally called Mouth Guard, and then we found out about the Brisbane punk band famously called Mouth Guard, and we were like, well, obviously we can't do that. And then I always kind of thought that it would be fun to have a band that was just like a name, just because like, and then you can have like a story behind it of like who it is. And we were like throwing around names, name ideas, but they funnily enough, initially they were all men, and then Lani, one of the other members in the band, was like, wait, why are they all men? We should name it a girl name. We should name it Margret. And since then, we've been Margret. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
And you?
Yeah. So I play in 2 bands. I play guitar in Lace Angel and also in a band called Quinn. And yeah, I think I've kind of always wanted to like be doing music stuff, and I think it's definitely seeing that there's like, you know, that diversity around, especially in Brisbane. I think it's really like a supportive community, because I remember growing up, like I was listening to like some heavier music, and I went to some like local gigs, and it was very much like all men like going super violent in the mosh, and it was very intimidating. You kind of just like stand in the back, you just like listen and stand there. So no, I think definitely, yeah, having this kind of like more like female representation in the music scene and queer representation is so good.
Yes, so good.
And you mentioned the mosh there. Does that mean that your bands are quite heavy?
Not quite. I mean, Lace Angel's kind of like scrams, like emo, but we're not as heavy compared to the other bands. I think that also we want it to be like a welcoming environment. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I've been to one of your gigs. It definitely is a welcoming environment, and it's refreshing to hear music like that where you're not intimidated in the crowd. So, you know, you're new to the feminist show, but you're clearly not new to making spaces safe for women, and very lucky to have you both. Yeah. We have come to the point in our show where we report on femicide in this country. It's terrible news, always hard and difficult, but we've made a commitment on this show to report on this. And if you need to tune out and practice self-care, please do so for the next 4 minutes. But come back, there's a lot of beautiful music to come. But yes, we do have to report on this because it's important and it's not being reported enough. We use Sherele Moody as our source. And unfortunately, she has reported this week that 3 women have been killed in Australia in a single week. We have a woman who has been killed in Broome. She was killed by an intimate partner. Unfortunately, we don't have any information on her, so we're going to hold out on talking about that one until we have her name and we understand who she was. Another woman, Lisa Ward, was killed while walking her dog. She was a beautiful, friendly, kind and caring person. Lisa had every right to walk our streets. She should have arrived home safely. Rest in peace, Lisa Ward. She deserved to be able to get home. Sherele has also reported another woman whose name we don't have either. So that was reported on 2 days ago. So 2 women this week who we don't have a lot of information on. So next week we will talk about their names and who they were as women, because we don't want to focus on the men that killed them. We want these women alive. We have the number for DV Connect if you're in a situation that you can call somebody. The helpline is 1-800-RESPECT, 0458 737 732 or 1-800 737 732. Look after yourself, treat yourself gently. We need to focus on this news. It's so important. This is 3 women in a single week is abhorrent. Keep these women in your mind and try to treat yourself kindly and gently. And yeah, sorry that we don't have much information on them, but we will keep you up to date. Charlotte did a wonderful report last week on puberty blockers and news in Queensland, and we have an update, so over to you.
Yeah, so earlier this week you might have heard it was all over the news, but the Supreme Court released their findings into the Queensland Health's pause on puberty blockers, and the Supreme Court found that the pause was unlawful because Queensland Health didn't follow the correct processes that were in place when putting the ban in. And then that happened at about 11 a.m. on Tuesday. By 2 p.m., Health Minister Tim Nichols had put in a ministerial directive to reinstate the pause. So it was a very turbulent day on Tuesday of just a lot of back and forth with the lives of young trans people in Queensland, and it's really devastating to see the potential effects of this.
The somewhat good news about what has happened is now that they are being forced to follow correct process, so they will be forced to actually consult with people.
Yeah, it's like a 22-minute Zoom call or whatever it was. Oh God.
So no, with the first ban, the medical professionals found out at the same time as the media found out, and look, this is just devastating news for young people and for parents of young people as well. I can talk to this as a parent who has got children who have been through the children's gender clinic, and I can tell you that they do a very thorough job. They do a fantastic job. They are under-resourced. I know that there was a recommendation that they needed to actually double the funding to the clinic. They did not double the funding to the clinic. Instead, they put a pause on that for reasons that are at best spurious. So, but I can tell you my personal experience, even before the pause, having really long wait times to get to access that is just heartbreaking in itself. And then for my heart goes out to parents who now not only have to wait to get to see services, but have no, have the opposite of a guarantee that they would even get services when they get seen, that they are able to be helped. And we're talking about puberty blockers here, which the main purpose of those in trans affirmative care is to delay the onset of puberty and to give young people some breathing time, give them some room, to know who they are, because a lot of the arguments that we get against trans affirmative care is that, well, how can young people know what they want? How can they make these kind of decisions? And so by saying you can't have puberty blockers, you're actually removing that breathing space for them. And yes, some young people will go on puberty blockers and then they may decide that they don't want to, transition to either gender. They may not, but you've given them that space. And by banning that, you're taking away those choices and, those opportunities for them to discover who they are. And it is just so devastating that they have done that. And I really hope that that they do follow some process, proper process before. And quite frankly, I don't understand how any process has got politicians going, I don't like that, so therefore we'll ban it. It needs to be a medical decision, not a political decision.
Yeah, and clearly this time it was announced to be a cabinet call. It was found to be David Christoffoli asking David Rosengren to do something, So they definitely need to reassess this from a more medical perspective. And like you said, with waitlists, it's already getting insane. Waitlists can be over a year to even just get appointments. That's not even to get on blockers, let alone HRT. And puberty blockers for the most part are reversible.
Oh, they're totally
if you
reversible.
Stop taking them,
absolutely, you get puberty back. That's exactly what happens.
And that's a lot of people's concerns with trans healthcare. It's it's permanent. It's hormones, yes, but puberty blockers.
The one medical issue is long term use of puberty blockers. It can be not great for bone health. That is one thing that people need to consider. But as far as puberty is concerned, absolutely completely reversible.
Thank you guys. Susan said, thanks Sarah, Megaherzzz team. Vital discussion and commentary.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We loved having you both on, and we hope that you come back.
We haven't scared you away.
Isn't that what feminism is about?